Believe it or not, you are living on the planet of the apes, right now. We modern humans are the most dominant, most widespread ape on Earth, ruling over every single continent.
Technically,
We are the great apes. But when you hear Planet of the Apes, you're probably picturing the movie, right? Where humans are. Let's just say, not calling the shots. And if we're talking about those apes, the non-human ones of our world today is the exact opposite. They're on the brink of extinction, clinging to survival in tiny pockets of Africa and Asia, with fewer than 1 million of them left in the wild. But there was a time when Earth truly was their planet. A golden age when hundreds of ape species were the kings of the world. It's an era of unbelievable diversity that lasted for millions of years. And this was the real planet of the apes, and it all went down in an age called the Miocene. Our story starts 23 million years ago. But here's the crazy part. At the very beginning of the apes' golden age, there were no apes. Not yet. The planet was warming up, primates were evolving in every direction, and out of this chaos, one branch of old world monkeys took a giant evolutionary leap, and became the first ape. Meet Proconsul. This 22-million-year-old animal is our best guess for the original gangster of the ape world. Now, it wasn't exactly what you'd picture. It still walked on all fours like a monkey, but it had game-changing new features. No tail, stable elbows for support, bigger size, and awesome grasping hands. This combination allowed it to completely dominate the ancient forests of Kenya and Uganda, marking the dawn of a new dynasty. And that was just the start. Apes weren't content to just stay in Africa. Lush subtropical forests spread across the globe, so did they. Soon they exploded onto the scene, diversifying into over a dozen different types, from tiny apes the size of a capuchin. Monkey, 2 absolute units as big as a male chimp. But the real game changer came 16 million years ago. Sea levels dropped dramatically, revealing a land bridge connecting Africa to Europe and Asia. It was a one-time invitation to take over the world. And the apes accepted. But why did only certain apes, like Afropithecus, make the journey? What was their secret weapon? It wasn't bigger brains or stronger muscles. It was in their teeth. Specifically, they had incredibly thick enamel. This was like having built-in armor for their teeth, allowing them to crack open a whole new menu of tough foods like nuts and seeds that were all over their new homes. With this superpower, and a much warmer climate back then, the apes conquered a third continent. Imagine traveling through Europe during the Miocene. You wouldn't find Paris or Rome. You'd find a continent swarming with apes. One of the weirdest was Aureopithecus. This swamp dweller from ancient Italy had a mind-blowing trick. It could stand on 2 legs, but not like us. It did this by turning its big toe out at a wild 100-degree angle, basically turning its foot into a tripod. It's great for peeking over bushes to spot predators, but absolutely terrible for actually walking anywhere without falling over. Meanwhile, in Asia, the ape empire was even bigger and more diverse. It's here that the story gets really good, because the great apes finally entered the scene. What made them great? Bigger bodies and way bigger brains. The heavyweight champion of the era was Gigantopithecus, and this giant from India was the largest primate of the Miocene, about the size of a modern gorilla. But it probably looked more like a giant orangutan. Instead of swinging through trees, this was a ground-dwelling beast that feasted on massive amounts of bamboo. But the most successful great ape was probably Lufenpithecus from China. It was smaller, about the size of a baboon, but we found so many of its fossils that it was likely the most common primate of its time, thriving in the endless forests. They were so successful, in fact, that they even got diseases we're familiar with today, like gingivitis shup, ancient ape gum disease. And then there was Danuvius, the real weirdo from Germany. This ape is an evolutionary puzzle. It had legs built for walking upright just like ours, But it also had long, powerful arms, perfect for swinging through trees. Get this, it had opposable big toes. The leading theory is that it might have walked upright, But on top of the branches, using its super grippy feet to hold on, while its hands were free to grab food. From hyperaggressive apes, like Dryopithecus, to our own potential ancestor, Ardipithecus, the Miocene was an explosion of ape evolution. Over 100 different species spread across 3 continents. A true planet of the apes. So where did they all go? What brought this golden age to a crashing halt? The answer is as simple as it is devastating. The very same nature that gave them their paradise. It took it all away. As the Miocene drew to a close, the planet began to cool down and dry out. A drop in atmospheric CO2 and a shift in the Earth's tilt changed everything. The vast, dense forests that the apes depended on for food and shelter began to vanish, replaced by open woodlands and grasslands. Their entire world was disappearing. It was a slow, inevitable collapse that marked the end of the real planet of the apes.